Hi everybody and welcome to Created Borderline. Let's talk about it. Today is going to be a little bit different than normal. Instead of me rambling about myself and my situation and what I go through, I am going to give response to some of the questions I've been asked, and this could, for some people, be a little bit controversial, and with all due respect, uneducated opinions. I hope that those of you that want to say something about any of this, make sure you have an educated response. Just for the, because this is factual and firsthand what my experience has been, and the stuff that I have researched that is factual and not somebody just trying to be hateful. So, first off, I kind of just want to go through the rundown of what I've got put together here. A question that I often get asked is weighing heavy on my shoulders. What does it feel like to have borderline personality disorder? Okay, well, my response is I am, and all borderlines, pre-diagnosis is the obviously oblivious borderline. What I mean by that is it feels like nothing or normal. Borderlines are people, humans living in the same world as the rest of you. If a borderline hasn't heard of BPD or its definition, we're not aware of how it affects our emotions, behaviors, or that we are any different from any other human being. And that's very, very, I can't tell you how true that is. How that's an important piece of information for those of you that have a loved one with borderline, or you're there for somebody with borderline, your best friend. Any way you look at it, that is crucial information. And then I believe this being one of the reasons we have such a hard time with relationships. Borderlines feeling so differently and more deeply than the majority can cause confusion and misunderstandings. The same concept here is like having a tumor inside of your body for 30 years and then having someone ask you how they felt all this time. Well, they felt normal because that was their normal. They didn't know any other life other than that. And I'm sure when they have the opportunity to reflect, I'm sure they can say, oh yeah, well, and tell the differences after having a tumor removed, but the whole time they didn't have any idea that they were different or felt different or anything was different from anybody else. They will tell you they felt normal. Those with exposure to the disorder and its definition will tell you they feel anxiety, emotional rampage, suicide, etc. Those people are no longer the obviously oblivious borderline. So if you ask us post-diagnosis how it feels, we've heard of it, we've, researched it, we've been in therapy, whatever the case may be. So we do know what those feelings are. We do know that they're different because we're told they are. We're told that we don't think the same and process the same as other people. Stages of recovery. That all becomes clear in certain stages of one's recovery. If you find yourself in a revelation many times, you can find yourself in a revelation many times. Awe moments, meaning one of two things. One, I can't believe I do these things like this because of that, this or that. And nobody else does. Followed by my favorite, understanding and coming to terms with the fact that you are always going to love more, care more, and hurt more than those around you. Still, I struggle with this, remembering that even though someone may care about me, it is not and will never be on the same level as I care for them. Which, yes, I've talked about this before, more than once probably. That's a big deal to me. That bothers me. Like, why do I have to? Why me? Like, why is this my obligation to be this portion of the world that has to feel like that, like has to have these emotions and feelings? And why can I love somebody so much and it never be reciprocated? Like, I don't understand why I can love my, we're not going there today, my boyfriend, for example. I would literally step in front of a bullet for him if he was being shot at, and there's days he can make me feel like, well, sometimes he makes me feel like he doesn't love me, and I know that my rational thinking Savannah knows better, but sometimes rational thinking Savannah's brain doesn't want to come out and play, I guess, so to speak. And it's hard to rationalize these thoughts in my head. And there's not ever a time that when he realizes this, that he doesn't fix it. But it still weighs heavy on my chest. It still bothers me a significant amount. I don't think I will ever fully come to terms with this, and I know this is something I need to let go of. Yes, I do know I need to let go of it, but I can't right now. It's just, I don't have it in me yet to let go of it. The overcaring and emotional damage it has done to my inner soul has always felt like some punishment for crimes that I have not yet committed. The looks and the words people use when I speak loudly about how unfair I feel about this disorder or any other disorder is how unfair it is, because it is unfair. Like, well, this will explain how I feel about it. When I speak about how anyone with mental illness or personality disorders don't pick them up and try them on for size, oh yes, one fits perfect, that's no good. I better get this tight one, the one that fits so tight I can't breathe, because that's what I want. Um, we don't do that. It's not a cigarette. We're picking up to smoke, um, and becoming addicted. That cigarette to your mouth, that's a choice. Drugs, that's a choice. We did not get a choice. Like, this is not something that we chose to have. So yes, I believe it is the most unfair, ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know the words. That's how much I loathe this, especially with our healthcare system. And I will speak as loudly as I possibly can on this issue, anywhere, anytime, and debate it all day long. If we are not getting a choice, or if we don't have a choice, and we just are gifted a disorder or mental illness, and we can't get treatment because we can't afford it, then and don't get me wrong, because I know a lot of people that are drug addicts have a disorder or mental illness, and they started doing that to cope. I get that 100%. But that was a choice. There is free rehab. There's all kinds of programs. Like, mental health should come first. We should have free health care. We should have free recovery places like rehab. Like, I'm just so passionate about that, because it's like, I get it, but if you fix their mental health problem, you'll fix their drug problem. It's that simple. There's no other explanation other than you can't fix a drug problem until you fix yourself. And that's what they do in rehab. They have groups and, blah, blah, blah. And so we should have the same. There is only one view and one truth. We don't get a choice, no matter how you want to see it or how you want to view it. There's no silver lining. There's no hidden agenda. There's just that's it. Okay. So, question 2 response. I want to let everybody know that this might rattle a few feathers. Standing by my meaning, every word. Standing by my meaning in every word I have to say. The question is, why do so many borderlines play the victim? It's going to get me rolling. Firstly, I just want to make this very clear that we are all individual people that, and no two people feel the same thing about anything. No two people view the same thing. You could watch the same movie next to each other and have one laughing at the end of the movie and another one crying. Like, this is very, very important to understand, that just because we have a label of a disorder or a mental illness does not make us any less human than the rest of you. Or the majority, I should say. Oh, yeah, and we would also like to know why the majority plays the victim so much, because I feel very passionate about that as well. For example, just so everybody understands where I'm coming from, and this is an example of my life and my story. No matter how the events led up to this, my family knew, and I'm going here, my family knew that I had planned my own suicide for 3 months. Okay? Not one of them cared about how I was or what was affecting me or why I wanted to do that, even though some of them know. Um, but they were worried about their feelings and how I hurt their feelings and how this affected them. Not once were they worried about what was affecting me and why I almost died. And the better I get, and the clarity in my brain, and the more I can think straight, I guess you could say. I look back and I reflect on that, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did it. And it scares me, and I've talked about this before too. It scares me so much that I just did it like it was nothing. And I had, the attempts before that they were nothing like that. Like this was, like I knew I was doing it. Like, and I knew what I was doing before too, but those were more like self-harm, self-mutilation, whatever happens. Like, it wasn't planned. Those times weren't planned, and really, thought out or anything like that. This was just, in the pain. Like, that was right then and there, just in the pain. This was just, like, I was ready. Like, I was ready to die. And I just look back at that, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I just about cut my life short. And everything that's hurt me and everyone that's hurt me, they're winning. And I'm just like, I can't believe I almost let everybody win. Like, you don't have control over me anymore. You don't have control over my thoughts or my emotions or my feelings. Before I get in a longer circle talk, though, that is what I'm saying. That they play the victim on, they almost lost their sister, and they were more upset with with me, about how their feelings, like, if that would have been them, I would have been all over that. Like, what's wrong? What can we do to make you better? What they should have done is got me the proper help that I needed then, instead of, me dragging it out and my boyfriend / ex-husband finding me the help that I needed, and making sure that, I'm good, I'm okay, and like, you're not getting it. Like, I know that I made mistakes, and I know that I hurt you, but I never hurt you on purpose, because that's not something I do, and I wrecked my own life, not yours, and thanks for the support and the help, because I've had to do this pretty much on my own, not owning it, not owning how it made me feel, or no, not owning their part in what had happened, leading up to the event, or a simple, are you okay? It doesn't matter if I have a personality disorder or it doesn't matter if you have a personality disorder or you're a healthy human being with no ailments. Your feelings are your feelings. Do not invalidate somebody because you don't have the same pain receptors. And that's like, that should be 2020's golden rule. The new golden rule. You have different pain receptors than other people. I'll tell you, borderlines can cut themselves, beat themselves up. Whatever. Physical pain does not hurt them. Physical pain is like a relief, because the emotional pain tears them up so badly. And it is what it is, but that's the truth. Like, the emotional pain is unbearable, and most of the time we can't handle it. Um, if you have found the time to ask me or any other borderline why borderlines always play the victim, you've had plenty of time to reach that we feel research, that we feel on a significantly higher level than the majority. So you forget to take this is just an example. You forget to take the trash out. For 3 days after you've been asked every single day. A borderline may turn that into you hate me, you disrespect me. Handling this shouldn't turn into a big dramatic response, or you shouldn't have gotten involved with it. Or you shouldn't have gotten involved with the borderline in the first place. So this brings me to my next question, my next response. Can borderlines love or be in a relationship? Well, oh my gosh. This is a tough one to talk about because it gets me mad, gets me heated. But well, first off, if you are going into a relationship with a borderline, you haven't educated yourself. You haven't educated yourself on the disorder. Shame on you. This is your mistake, and you need to own it. Second, if you did do your research, you knew going into this that there could be times of extreme intensity. The most relevant part of this response is if you do right by your borderline, they will never be. If you do right by your borderline, there will never be a person. There will never be a person to love you more. Yes, even your mother's love cannot compare. We are loyal to the point we would step in front of a bullet for you. You will sit high on a pedestal you probably don't deserve to be sitting on. We often wreck our own lives and destroy ourselves before we ever purposely hurt the people that caused our pain. Besides the lack of self-educating and laziness, because you have access to all the information in the world right in the palm of your hand, it's called a cell phone. One may have borderlines love. Besides laziness, borderlines love the broken. A person can blame the borderline over and over and make us look like we're the bad guy, or even better, make us look crazy. By the end of the chaos, we usually get to look like the crazy person anyway, because we get pushed to the point where our eyes see red. We love a narcissist. I don't know why we are so attracted to them, but oh, do we love them. Oh, do we love them. It is very hard for borderlines to understand and comprehend they can't fix broken. Or broken can't fix broken. This chair's hurt my butt. Sorry, thought y'all wanted to know that. And this is just a little extra I threw in there to kind of end this whole scenario. And sorry, I'm reading my notes off my phone, but this is my setup for the day. If you realize you have met a borderline and want to get to know that person, understand if the borderline falls in love with you, this is all relationships, not just romantic, you will never have a better friend. The borderline will always be there for you unless, oh yeah, the borderline will always go the extra mile to make sure that you don't go without, and they will go without because that's just the kind of person they are. Mostly when a borderline walks away from someone, most of the time it is for a reason. You have shown us the image of yourself you portrayed is a lie, and that is breaking our trust, making us, taking away our safety and security, and no longer you are no longer the image that you were. It could be something little that you don't understand is why it's such a big deal, but it is. And that's the end of my rant for the day. I will be answering more questions and being back on here tomorrow with the same flow. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me an email or in the comments below, and I will get to your questions as soon as I can as well. Oh, and one more thing. CreatedBorderline.org is a support group website that I just got up and going. I'm recruiting some members, so if you're interested, check it out. Like I said, it is CreatedBorderline.org. It is a support group. It has got some cool opportunities and some other things going for it, so it's not just your ordinary support group. It's a place for people with mental illnesses and disorders to come together and feel like they belong to something. So check it out and sign up.